Right, so scheduling 101. So the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is the habits that they do in their day. The only way that we normal people will be able to fit in habits of successful people into our days and perform them is through a good schedule that keeps us honest. So, this, in my opinion, is one of the most important skills. I think the most important skill that anyone can learn for any field that they're going to be in. But first, there is a principle that you need to understand to get rid of the limiting belief before you go into making your schedule. Let me show you. So, I'm going to write a word on this whiteboard, and it's a word that we are going to eliminate from your vocabulary today. Can't. We want rid of can't. Why do we want rid of can't? Because when we are scheduling our day, we are going to go to some extremes that not many people do, because that's the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. For successful people go to the minimal extremes. I like that, the minimal extremes. We'll get back to that. But they go to these extremes that the normal people, the unsuccessful people, they don't. So if in your head you have this, I can't do this, like I can't focus on work for 2 hours straight. I can't structure my workouts like this. I can't do this for this long, I can't do that, I can't even do this thing in general because I don't know how. We want rid of can't. What I have done is I live by a sort of internal monologue, which is whatever I want, I have to get. And to get what I want, I can learn any skill and I can perform it perfectly. I'm a fast learner and I am a perfectionist and I'll get it done perfectly. You want these things going through your head. Even if currently you're not these things, most likely these are the characteristics you want to have. So an actionable step that you can take right now is you can write down the person you want to be and start visualizing yourself as that person. Actualize the habits that they do, actualize the thought processes that they have. Do you really think that this person will be saying that they can't do certain things? No, they're going to be like, I can do it and I will do it because whatever I want, I have to get. It's the savage mentality. So remove can't from your vocabulary because it is a limiting word. Because there's a sociological term and it's called the self-fulfilling prophecy, where, let me give an experiment. This teacher, she walked into her class and she told her students with blue eyes and the brown eyes students in the same room, this is called blue eyes, brown eyes experiment. She told both the students first that students with brown eyes are dumber than students with blue eyes and less well behaved, etc., etc. The students with brown eyes got picked on in the playground. But this isn't the important part. The important part is the later performance of the brown eyed students because of this. They believed that they were less intelligent. They believed they can't perform the same as the blue eyed students. So the brown eyed students' grades suffered, and the blue eyed students' grades increased. They were achieving more and achieving better. Then the teacher reversed the roles, saying the blue-eyed students were dumb and the brown-eyed students were smart. Now, there's been proof in this experiment that the blue-eyed students aren't dumb. They've achieved. However, now they are the underachievers because they believe they are dumb. That is the self-fulfilling prophecy. You are what you believe. So if you believe that you can't perform something in your schedule, it will limit what you can put in your schedule and it will limit your success. That's why they're called limiting beliefs. So to summarize that, remove can't. And to remind you of the actionable step, write down all the characteristics of the person you want to be and the person who would succeed in the field that you are in and that you want to succeed in. And if you don't know that field, that leads me on to the next point before we get into the scheduling itself. That leads me into the probably everyone does this naturally, but not a lot of people do it properly. And that is goal setting. So a lot of people say New Year's comes, they set goals in their mind, they set New Year's resolutions where I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to get a six-pack abs, I'm going to make all this money. But in reality, it doesn't stick. Why? There's a couple reasons. So, the couple reasons are, is it something you want in the first place? And have you actualized it? Have you given it form? Have you given your goal form? For example, Brian Tracy in his book Eat That Frog, he said to write down in 30 seconds, and you can do this right now, get a piece of paper if you haven't already, and write down in 30 seconds 10 goals in which you want to achieve. If you can't do it in 30 seconds, just as quick as possible, but 10 goals you want to achieve, and then write them in present tense. Write them in, like, I have a Lamborghini, I have a six-pack abs, I earn blah 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 blah. You get the idea. By writing it down on a list, you give the goals form. Now, how do we know it's what we want? I want you to circle 2 of those goals, maybe 3. As little as possible. 1 is the best, but most likely you'll have to circle 2 at least. But as little amount to circle as possible. This should jump out at you. And if you're struggling to figure out what ones would positively impact your life if you achieved them. Focus on you first, but then later on you can focus on the life of others, like family members, relationship, blah blah blah. So that is how you that's the basic idea. I'll do a full video on proper goal setting, but the basic idea of goal setting is figuring out what you want and putting it into form, putting it on physical things. Like here, I'm not sure if you can see, this says 10k a month. That is one of my goals at the minute. That's my main financial goal. To get 10, just slip it. Ooh. That's my main financial goal, to get 10k a month. I have other goals, but my main focus at the minute is my financial goal. So I've written all my goals down that I want to achieve, and I circled a couple, and I've actualized it, I've given it form by putting it on my wall in paper. A lot of people don't write down their goals, and that is a crime, in my opinion, because it doesn't give it form. So now we're 10 minutes in, let's get to the actual scheduling itself. So a lot of people work on weekly schedules. A lot of people work on even scheduling a month in advance. A lot of people even schedule, like, I don't know, their full year. That's the most stupid thing in the world. And why is it the most stupid thing in the world? Because things change. There's a blurred line between rigidity and proper scheduling. And the thing is, you want your schedule to be able to be flexible and able to bend to whatever new comes up, but you also want to be honest and stick to it honestly. So the best scheduling method that I've found is a daily schedule. So what you do is the night before, you write a to-do list. And on this to-do list, you write down all the tasks that you have to do to achieve that you have to do the next day. And if you think about putting the tasks like this, so most tasks are miniature goals, like for example, gym. Say you were a YouTuber, it could be YouTube, and we'll use those two examples for now. So now you've got to strip it back a bit, because a lot of people, when doing their schedules, from a lot of people I've helped, I've seen them be so vague by giving it just the goals themselves, like the gym, YouTube, all of that. Being vague can be helpful, but when it's a goal you want to achieve, say it's like 10k on YouTube, so you put YouTube in your schedule because you have to work on that, and say it's to get buff in the gym, so you put gym on it because you go to the gym. I personally don't, I do home workouts, but we need to be more specific. So what do we do? Let's use gym for example. So specific days, we do different things. So for gym, we apply the 80-20 rule. If you don't know what the 80-20 rule is that a lot of people do lots of different tasks to achieve their goal. Okay, they do all these different tasks when realistically there's a vital few amount of tasks that actually help the goal. It's easier to explain it with YouTube actually. So what are the vital few, the 20% of tasks that equivalent for 80% of the results? So for YouTube, that could be to you don't even need to script, you can just put bullet points. That's what I do. Bullet points, film, and film / upload. Upload isn't really a task. And that's about it. Maybe, like for my field of work, you have to do research, but you don't really put research on your 80-20 rule. That just happens anyway through your reading and all of that. So literally 2 tasks, but you see all these YouTubers and they don't do just 2 tasks. They complicate it. They don't minimalize their life. What did I say earlier? It was like the minimal extremes that these people go, that experts and achievers and what was the word? Achievers go through. This is a minimal extreme. 2 tasks. Write the bullet points, film and upload. Don't even need to edit. And a lot of people with YouTube, they do all these different things. They do analytics, they do putting into comments, subscribe to my channel. But that's not going to make you successful. That is not proper scheduling. What are you going to schedule specifically? Let's go into Hamza's comments and say, please subscribe to my channel. No, you're not. And I hope you're not, if you're a YouTuber. Most of you may not even be YouTubers. This kind of, let's just use gym. Let's use gym. The gym example. Lots of people go to a gym. I, for a while, overcomplicated gym and fitness. And you could probably see a little spoiler there for what has happened. But if you break it down into the 80-20 rule, it is quite simple. There's only a few tasks. There is push, pull, legs, and sometimes, and since I'm doing calisthenics all-time core, and cardio. I'll just put that at the bottom. Cardio. Sometimes cardio. They're the core things that you really have to do. Push, pull, legs, core, cardio. And that's what you should put in your schedule. You should put push, pull, legs, core, cardio. You don't need to just put gym. What do you mean by gym? Sorry, got a bit angry there. Sorry to shout. But I was complicating this for so long with my fitness, so I wasn't really achieving much success. I'm not going to say I'm the strongest, I'm not in the slightest. I've just started this recently because I didn't apply the 80-20 rule. So, the lesson here is to write your to-do lists. So, say my to-do list for next day, because I'm currently writing a book, is write book. Because that is, if I want to publish a book, the thing I have to do is write it. That's all. It's like film video for YouTube. Write book. If I want to be more specific, but I don't like limiting myself, but sometimes it is maximising yourself. Write chapter of book. Then I want to exercise. What day is it? Tomorrow, pull. Pull in gym. Pause. And then what else? Say we're seeing family. See family. And then say we are. What else could we do? Film a video. Film / upload. Vid. And if I'm filming, I'd need to do bullet points at some point. Okay. And you can alter this however you want with yours. You can put as many things as possible. Then, with this, let's get another colour pen. What colour will look nice? Red? Let's try red. Then we want to order these in priority. So say my overall goal is to write this book. I would order it in a priority of like A, and then exercises, pretty important, so I'll put that as an A task as well. So A1, A2. C, family, is a task that is gonna occur. So, but it's not as, I don't need to get it out of the way like an A task to avoid procrastination. So, B1, film and upload vid. This isn't my work. This is just something I like to do. So, probably put this as a C task, C1, C2. And you can see an order of priority forming. Maybe, this is another thing. Maybe can you see the bottom? Yeah, you can. Maybe you procrastinate certain tasks more than others. Like, I don't procrastinate writing the chapters, so instead of making that the A1, since I procrastinate my working out a lot, I put pull as my A1 and this as my A2. So an A task is the most important task you have to do in your day. Actually, let me get the book. Brian Tracy is a legend. Oh, that doesn't matter. Brian Tracy is a legend. He has this book, Eat That Frog, and he has taught me so much when it comes to this, and he explains the A, B, C, D, E method perfectly. So an A item is something important, something you must do for your goals. So since my goal is to finish my book, it's probably an important task to write a chapter. And a second goal I circled was to make my money. However, I'm just doing a different example because it's easier and I can't give you my way of making my money. But another goal is pull, so my working out. So that is A1 because I procrastinate it more and it's important for me to do to achieve my goal. And this A2 because that is also important for me to do to achieve my other goal. And then a B item is a task that you should do. So see family is the B item. I should do that. And that is also high on the priority list. And a C task is defined as something that would be nice to do, but there are no consequences at all for if you do it or not. So that is for a film, edit, and upload bit. We can go more in depth into this because there are 2 more letters. However, I don't want to overcomplicate it. So maybe E. Let's go to E. Let's see how he describes E. An E task is something you can eliminate altogether. And if you want the D task, I don't think it will apply to most of you, but a D task is defined as something you can delegate to others, like a task you can give to others. But an E task is one you can eliminate altogether. So this could be scrolling on shorts. This could be watching useless videos, watching a Sideman upload. This could be something like that. So now we've got these bullet points. So let me summarize this simply because I'm sure I went all around the houses to explain it. So to summarize what we have learned so far, we have removed can't from our vocabulary. We have then made our to-do lists. And then we have labelled our tasks. We've applied the 80-20 rule to the broad tasks like fitness, gym, write book, YouTube, all of that, all our broad tasks, all our goals, we have broken down into the vital few tasks that we have to do, the bare minimum to achieve it. And then we have ordered them with the A, B, C, D, E method of priority. Doing that alone, working off the to-do list alone, you'll see your productivity skyrocket. You'll see you achieving these goals that you never done. And removing can't, just even without the scheduling, removing your limiting beliefs, you'll see way more improvement. So with just 3 basic principles, I sounded like Gary Vee then. With just 3 basic principles, we have already put ourselves in the top 10% of people mentally. Because who else is doing this? A little bit of a pause, a little bit of a breather for you. Who else your age is actually doing this? No one. Barely anyone. I barely know anyone else on self-improvement like we are. Anyone else watching videos this long about such minimalized tasks and things as scheduling? Such we are focusing on minimal things to achieve maximum results. And that's the 80-20 rule I explained as well. You're focusing on the vital few to achieve a maximum results. Little breather over now. Hopefully you enjoyed that breather. Now we're getting right back into action. Okay, I'm hyped up now. I'm hyped up. So, next on my bullet point list is the time you work. So, I always thought it was 12 hours. So that's why my days have been weird. But then my mate said, 16 hours. 16, 17, 18. Yeah. We'll go with 12. So if you have extra time after, you're chilling. 12 hours. So let's use our 4 times tables, guys. 4, 8, 12. We've got 3 sets of 4 hours to play with in our day. So, first 4 hours is dedicated to our goals. We want to put at least 4 hours, as much hours as possible, but I like 4 because it allows you to do the other things in your day as well that you want to do. Because how many people do you know that are spending 4 hours on a task, on achieving a goal? Like if we use YouTube for example, and we have for 4 hours, say your bullet points and filming a video, and you don't film these long videos like me, take 20 minutes overall, and you have 4 hours. So there is 3 20 minutes in an hour, times that by 4 is 4, 8, 12. You have filmed 12 videos. And you do that every day. And then you can filter through the ones you don't want to post or want to post. You do that every day. You achieve your goal of growth. The more, like Gary Vee says, the more content you post out, the more you grow. And that's so true. For me, say I wanted to grow on Instagram, which I do, I could take this long form mega content and cut it down into smaller things. If that was, I do this for fun though, that's why it's a C task. But the first 4 hours in your day, be the tasks to achieve your goal. Make it those. Maybe start off with a cold shower. I love doing that. I'll go on a whole side tangent one day, make a full video on cold showers and when to have them. They're brilliant. But the first tasks, put it in a 4-hour window in your day. Try and do it focused work. You can do it focused work. Remove can't. Like, imagine before this video, you were faced with, do 4 hours focused work. You would have said can't, but you've removed can't from your vocabulary now, okay? So you can. 4 hours focused work. You may have school, and that's when the 16 hours in a day comes in. But put as much of your energy at the beginning of the day into your goals. Your goal could be school, and then you've got even more time, but like nobody else is doing 4 hours on a specific goal. Even professionals, even like I remember again Brian Tracy. I watched one of his lectures online. He was talking about these salespeople, and they recorded time that they had with the client on a stopwatch, and they were all clocking under their specific work time. I think they were all clocking under 4 hours, if I remember correctly. And then the boss made them up their time and record it and do all that. And their results increased. It's very simple. If you up the time you're doing something, your results will increase. It's the most simple thing in the world, but not a lot of people do it. So up the time, 4 hours. Try to do, if you really, really, really have a packed schedule, then just do as much time as possible of focused work. Make sure the focused work is brilliant. And focused work can come in many different packages. I'll get into a full video on focused work because there's different ways. There's salami slicing, there's Pomodoro, there's just sitting down and focusing. But we will crack on with that in another video. But 4 hours focused work, put that in your schedule. And it can be multiple mediums. Like, I want to write my book, but I also want to make 10k a month. So let's split it a bit. My goal of making 10k a month is more important. So probably spend more time on that than writing this book. So, but if my main goal was to write the book, I'd of course spend more time on the book. The book is also a passion project, but for the use of this video, I put it as the most important thing in my life. But my 10k a month, you'd spend as much time on that as possible. I cut myself off at 4 hours because that just makes the most sense to me. And you do have 16 hours. I just like working with 12. But now let's move on to the second 4. So first 4 is your passionate work. Make sure your goal is something you're passionate about because then you want to do it. And now this 4 here. What is this 4 here? Let's split this 4 into 3 hours first. Because for me, I exercise, so gym. We don't have to be specific here. You can be specific in your schedule. So again, say it was for tomorrow, pull. And then here I read Bible, and here I read in general. And the other hour accounts for the random things that come in your day. Like, say, the time to travel from place to place is quite important. And the time you spend eating. This other hour sort of accounts for that. So this slot here is like your schedule of the tasks you get done to help yourself, like your exercise, your reading or learning. Because I'll get into there's going to be loads of videos, and you can check out my channel to see if they're out yet. But I give these brief explanations of things within the video. Reading is no longer the most effective way to get information, and we all know that. But a lot of people in the self-improvement place think reading is. And videos help as well, longer form videos. But realistically, there is a way faster way that I'll teach one day. But reading or learning in there, and reading Bible, because, you know, I want to be a strong man of God. So we've established this the first 4 hours, first 8 hours. We have our goal. So say it was YouTube, it would be our goal of filming the videos, our 80-20 rule of filming videos, uploading videos, bullet pointing the script. And then we have our 4 hours here where we do our 80-20 rule of our exercise, which is the pull tomorrow, and the Bible, reading Bible, and read/learn. And you can be specific of what you're going to learn, like read/learn scheduling. Then we have our last 4 hours here. What's that? That's time that you can spend. That is time that you can spend on what? On socializing. Your social time. And if you aren't a social person, you can use it to aid you in other things, like say you do other tasks like I do, and it is a social task too because people go, but I do jujitsu. I almost butchered the spelling. I do jujitsu. So that's 1 hour, sometimes an hour and a half out of my time. I have a relationship right now. I know, flexing on all you losers. So this can be calling wife, calling the missus, and you can use that time to structure your social time. And of course, you have 16 hours. That other 4 hours is yours to play with for the other tasks that just pop up. And if you want to spend it on this, you can. If you want to spend it on just being at home, learning, reading, watching podcasts. A lot of people love podcasts. You can watch a podcast. Showering and hygiene is pretty important. You can probably use it for that as well. If you're not using that or your friend time, you can to shower. But you can see how much time you have in your day, and you can see how you're sectioning out this time in chunks, and a big chunk at the beginning, because focusing for 4 hours is difficult. I can give it that. It's very difficult to focus on something that doesn't immediately give you dopamine. For 4 hours is crazy. It's extreme. It's minimal and extreme. The minimal extremes. But once you get this task done, you've eaten the frog, like the book I just talked about. You've eaten the frog. You've done the most ugliest, the longest task of the day. Everything else will be so much easier. That's why when I prioritised earlier, I prioritised my exercise, because I procrastinate that because it's the frog. It's the most ugliest task of the day. Now everything else I do after that exercise will be much easier for me. So now you have the basic outline. You have your mindset of you can do anything. You are a savage. You have your to-do list. You have 80-20 ruled some of the things on your to-do list. You've apply the 80-20 rule to anything you can. And so you've done your visualization, you've done your 80-20 rule to-do lists, you've A, B, C, D, E method them, and then you split your time up in your day properly. And why did you do that? To put it on a calendar. Calendars and hope it looks like it's an A. Calendar. Calendars are the most important thing in my opinion. Calendars are the difference between sticking to a schedule and not. Like, a lot of people can do a to-do list and stick to a to-do list, but putting it in a calendar, seeing it in the day, brilliant. It is brilliant. You can use Google Calendars to do this, and you just input all the things you've just written down on paper. You input the time you're spending on this task, you can see, you prioritize the tasks. It's so easy. And then these calendars stay like forever. You can see what you've done on each of these days. You can record your data. Self-recording data is really good. Like, say before your focus work, you have a little ritual. Recording the ritual and seeing what works and what doesn't, like doing it fasting and not, is also good. That's a whole different side tangent. But a calendar will keep you honest and keep you focused on the tasks you have to do and the tasks you're doing. and stick to this calendar like a champ. I cut out there for some reason. I have 19 minutes left in my storage, but we're wrapping up anyway. Write these in your calendar. Prioritize the tasks that you have to work on to achieve your goal. Make sure the goal you set is something you're passionate about, which we've done in the first stage of video, so you must have that goal now. And your schedules will be perfect. So what makes the perfect schedule? What makes the perfect schedule? Okay, we have our removal of can't, we have our self-fulfilling prophecy being that we can, and that we can do anything in the world. We have our 80-20 rule of our goals that we set, because we of course have our goals. And we also have our to-do lists. We have ordered those to-do lists by A, B, C, D, E priority. And then we have split our time up. That's better time management to put in the hours with our focused work. And then we have put it in. Will it fit? Maybe I'll bend it. We put it in a schedule. We put it in a calendar, sorry. My brain isn't thinking straight. Been recording for a while. We put it in a calendar. So the rules are simple. They're all here. We went through it in the video. I went on a few side tangents, but the side tangents have been helpful, I hope. So by applying these principles, you've got your schedules correct, and there's many other things you can do to make your actions correct, but they're for a different video. We're just focusing on schedules. We have achieved that now. We've changed our mindset. Now go make a schedule, write actionable step, do everything I've just said. Write down the task you have to do for tomorrow. Do your goals if you haven't already. Do all this. Apply the 80-20 rule. Do this all. I'll see you in the next one.